Hello, my name is Blair, and I'll be discussing the article Students, Truck Drivers, and Mapuches March Against the Government, which is a look at economic activity in Chile, the country that my group is studying for this course, in regards to the context of the ongoing social and political conflict in that country. This is a screen capture of the main story. Over the past weekend, students protesting education reforms, truck drivers representing business interests, and the Mapuche indigenous people all ended up in the capital city of Santiago conducting protests at the same time. We'll be looking at how all these things interact. To orient everyone to the region, Chile is in South America. The capital city is Santiago, and the Araucanía region is the area where the Mapuche indigenous people traditionally live. Chile is actually considered one of the most stable countries in South America, both economically and politically. But for the sake of this article, we're looking at some of the problems that actually are going on in the country, and decide with many of the competing interests that are going to the current conflicts that we'll be discussing in a little bit more detail today. The Mapuche are an indigenous group that live in southern Chile. They're a proud warrior tradition that survived the Inca and Spanish invasions into their territory, finally subdued by the Chileans. Put on reservation, they lost much of their territory during the dictatorship and have since been fighting back through legitimate means to try and get back their territory. Unfortunately, as you can see in this slide, they've also used terror tactics and other illegitimate means to try and gain their political objectives, which prompted the businesses and truck drivers to be part of the demonstrations in the capital this past weekend to petition government for better security practices. However, the role of security forces in the country is very complicated based on the experience of the country during the long dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet and the human rights abuses that occurred then, making it difficult and questionable whenever the police and military use to suppress terrorist activities today. Teachers and students were in the capital continuing their almost 3-month-long protest of proposed education reforms that actually would pay teachers more salary, but require them to pass stricter proficiency exams and other limitations on them. Over the past year, Chile has also seen large social reform movements about abortion, same-sex marriage, and legalization of marijuana, in line with socialist and leftist policies of the current president. But these agendas are taking its toll on the president and her governing coalition. Also, scandals in the slowing economy have continued to weigh against the president, as her coalition cannot support all of her initiatives. Recently, she was forced to cull her cabinet and replace many of her top leaders. The parties in green represent the parties, along with the Socialist Party, representing the president's coalition. However, the largest part of her coalition is the Christian Democratic Party, which has a hard time going along with the abortion and gay marriage part of their platform, leading to a current approval rating of about 20%. Many of the proposed economic reforms in the country are at question because of the president's lacking poll numbers, again at only 27% approval. Even her efforts to strengthen the labor unions have met with protest by the unions because they do not believe that the measures go far enough in granting them full autonomy. But it is not all bad news for Chile. Again, they're one of the most stable economic powerhouses in South America, as well as politically, with measures of development and economic progress continuing to climb. However, there are signs that the economic progress is starting to slow under the weight of expensive social reforms. Chile has traditionally relied on mining and low interest rates to support exports to boost their economy. However, with prices of their exports falling and interest rates going up around the world, forecasts show that their economy will suffer and slow down over the coming months, making their social reforms unaffordable. Also, in the long run, there are environmental concerns that Chile will have to grapple with, such as water shortages and air pollution, in the long run for them to continue to grow and thrive as an economically prosperous country and the region.